All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm building this A-frame cabin in the woods. Framing is officially done. Check out last week's episode. On today's episode, we're going to be installing $35,000 worth of windows that I opened 2 months ago. And on top of it, we're getting plumbers coming in here. So this thing is officially becoming a real building. Let's get into it. 30 inches for the toilet, yep.
So 15.
Okay.
I'm gonna move the green.
Okay. The cabinet will go all the way against the wall, so whatever my clearance that needs to be. Center of the sink here, yep. Wash and dry, yep. Stackable, yeah. Do you think that's gonna be, do you think this is wide enough to not be stackable?
Yes.
It is wide enough.
Yes.
Because what I don't want to,
More than
enough. So I would say let's not do stackable, let's do washer dryer, and then I'll put a countertop on top. The vent for that bathroom. Oh, okay. So I think because it's on this side of the house, we can have it go through.
Yes, but I can bring the high as much I can so the snow doesn't cut them off.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, or keep it low and you can build whatever they call like a little roof.
Oh, like a snow stop.
Snow stop.
That's a good point, that snow would build up on it, huh?
Yeah.
Man, you don't think about these things. Any other questions? Oh, what about the dryer exit vent? It's just going to be like through what?
Those HVAC guys, they can go.
They'll figure that out. Okay.
They will figure it out.
Water heater is going to be in here as well. I'm hoping we can fit both together here. Because I don't know what the plans he drew up for water heater. Furnace is dead in the middle. Washer dryer, that's just sloped. Interesting. Water heater. I mean, furnaces are usually pretty big.
You have like what 4 feet. Water heater, if you want a 50 gallon, I need 24 like a pin. So more, pretty much half for the water heater.
Wow. Okay. So my only options that I could think of is we either get rid of the closet. Well, this is the mudroom, but I think it's almost easier to get rid of this closet and put storage cabinets here or hangers. Yeah. This would probably be easier for you, huh? We should just put it in the bathroom. Yeah, okay. So then I guess our only option is just here, really. Yeah, I say let's just get rid of this wall and then we'll put the water heater in there. Okay, cool. Let's do that. I wonder with my electrician if we could maybe put a utility box here. Yes. Yeah, because that'd be perfect. Because that'd be kind of like the like a utility closet essentially. Perfect. Okay. Any other questions for me?
Hose, did you gonna have any water spigots outside?
Yeah. I was thinking on the bump outs probably. Well, yeah, put one right in the middle there. Okay. That'll work nicely. That's the front. Because what I would imagine is I'm gonna put, this is gonna be concrete slab coming out, and this is gonna be like a fire pit area. So I would say maybe put one just right here. Yeah.
I see right here.
Yeah, so, and then that way it's kind of out of the way. And you could kind of reach it either this way or that way. Oh, sweet, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping this house. Busy morning so far. Plumbers are here. It's awesome because they have a game plan. They know what they're doing. Man, they're on the ball, and it feels like this is like the first time. So far, nothing's going wrong. Like they're handling everything, and it's going smooth to plan. When it comes to finding a plumber, get 3 bids, see where they're at, and the way they bid you out is like in 3 different stages. It includes the whole entire bid, but they come out once to do the rough-ins. For the rough-ins, he's like, you need to bring me my tubs and the shower system, like where the drain's gonna be. So upstairs is gonna have the bathtub, downstairs is just gonna be a standing shower in the primary. Oh, and then another thing, he says, bring me the water mixing valves. So you already have to decide at this point what kind of faucets are you gonna be using for your shower. So they can install it inside, get all the plumbing run to it, and then the knobs and everything, they don't come on until way later. So while the plumbers are working on their stuff, I'm not wasting any time. I'm gonna start wrapping this house with the Tyvek all around it, get that all sealed, getting the windows all flashed out, and so we can start installing those windows. And fingers crossed, fingers crossed, the windows are the correct size. Because I'm just gonna assume they're the wrong size. That's what's gonna happen. And then assume the bad part and be pleasantly surprised. This would be a lot easier with more help. The guys are supposed to be here any moment now, because part of the bid for framing is they house wrap it, and they're gonna help install the windows too. So makes it for light work with me. My truck is very important to me to getting my work done. And over the years, I've been modifying it like including these power steps, to suit the needs that I need for my work. And the people who've been helping me to do that is Realtruck, Realtruck.com. Realtruck offers so many custom parts and accessories to create your dream vehicle like I did to mine. And one of the most recent additions to my truck from Realtruck.com is this Retrax Retractable XR tonneau cover. The cool thing about it is it's nice, solid grade aluminum. It's powder coated. My favorite feature is the fact that I can actually lock up my tonneau cover so nobody's gonna be getting all nosy and getting all my tools. And on top of that, it's got the T-slot system in it. And what that will allow you to do is add so many different attachments and accessories to this setup here. Most tonneau covers, they end up covering all these little slots that you can't put a rack or anything else. With this T-slot system, you can have all the different roof racks and different accessories to add on while also having a nice solid retractable tonneau cover. The Retrax retractable tonneau cover easily locks up your stuff. With a click of a button, it releases and you have effortless opening, as you can see. And the ball bearing allows you to have effortless opening and closing at all time. And here's the wild thing. It has a 500-pound weight capacity when evenly distributed. That's how solid this thing is. Realtruck.com has over 1 million parts and accessories to customize your dream truck to look exactly the way you want. Click the link down in the description below or head to Realtruck.com to check out this tonneau cover from Retrax and turn your truck into your dream truck. Thank you, Realtruck, for partnering with us. Now let's get back to this video. Gosh. Oh yeah, raise it up and cut it. This is the annoying part here. We have to move these big doors over to over here so we can reach the tie vac. So while we're trying to figure that part out and putting some sweat equity, let's go check up on see how the plumbers are doing. So I was banging my staples in here and I was like, that doesn't seem solid. And I come to look around, we forgot to cut out the thing for the opening when they were overlapping the plywood. It's the little things you find, the little details. Satisfying part, folks. I just screwed up. I'm supposed to have more overlap over this. Damn it. Okay, well, we'll do it on the next one. We're getting ready to start flashing these windows here. I've seen it done maybe 3 different ways. Well, 2 different ways, and then I just learned a 3rd way that I actually like more than the other ways I've seen. And who knows, maybe that's what most people actually use versus what you see on Google Images. We're gonna do like a 2-layer corner deal. So we're gonna first set it in place like this, cut our corners, fold it over, and then I learned this triangle piece that goes right in the corner and creates a really nice seal. Let's see if I can pull this off. It's my very first time doing this technique. If only I can get the tape off. I feel like I'm like charming a snake right now. And this is the triangle part that I just learned. So they put it right in the corner like this. Cut that there. Fold that over. Fold that over. And this is why I love this technique, is now you have no little corner piece that's actually exposed. It's all taped up nicely. I love it. As I screwed up and I cut this too short, this is supposed to overflap inside, I am gonna reinforce this with more flashing just so I don't have to worry about years to come of moisture building up in there. So these windows are from Hella, and they're hella expensive. $35,000 for all the windows. And the reason they're so expensive is because they're those popular black trimmed windows. For traditional vinyl white ones, you can take like 10 grand off of it, but not with these. Not to mention, we got these big beefy sliding doors that go up here and over there that are costing $3,000 for professional installation to come, because they have to balance it, make sure it moves right. But we're here, we bit the bullet, we ordered them 2 months in advance, and rumor has it, we're shy one window. So I'm just accepting that if anything can go wrong, will go wrong today. And as you guys saw from the last video, every solution has a problem, and we're gonna find it here. Looks like it says pull up before install. So it seems like this is where we're gonna be nailing or putting screws through. Good job, Alex. I mean, we got stuff to get screws in. You did your math right when you did the framing. Sí, Simón. Okay, careful. Oh, beautiful fit. Nice job. You need to be teaching math to people. Okay, well. So another thing about the reason why these are so expensive is the quality of them. That they even have that corner flashing that we already installed, already pre-planned out on these doors. So, I mean, they cost an arm and a leg for a few reasons, and quality is one of them. The color is another of them. But I mean, these are the nicest windows I've ever seen. That solid wood on the inside, it's beautiful. I mean, it's a piece of art. I don't know if that art costs 10 grand extra, but might as well do this the right way, I guess. My responsibility right now is risks prevention on the job site. No workman's comp claims here, so that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, this is so sketchy. I got you, cabron. Oh, muy bien. These guys are crazy. Oh, beautiful. Muy bonito. Consider it a little break. I don't have a ladder. You got it? No, he's tired. Making this way lighter and less intimidating. Oh man, this thing it weighs probably as much as those middle triangles. So we're gonna try to get it up there and then finagle it from the outside. Hopefully that should go in pretty smoothly. Look at you go, Alex. Man, un burro. Well, it rained. It rained a lot. The whole inside is, well, there's puddles. And that sucks, because we couldn't get our moisture barrier on the roof fast enough with the whole scheduling delay. This blows. The only thing that kind of keeps me optimistic is knowing that these problems happen in new construction all the time. You can never predict the weather. If you live in Seattle or Oregon, it's gonna rain a lot. And here in Idaho, I mean, it's my fault. We're getting close to, the end of fall here, so stuff's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep my chin up. Hopefully we don't get any more rain. Fingers crossed the materials show up next week, that we can put a roof on this thing and not worry about anything else and start moving on towards getting HVAC and all that stuff going here. But, oh boy, it's hard to keep your chin up right now. All right, we got the sucker wrapped. We got the windows on, the window sills flashing is on. Next up, I'm gonna start wrapping all my seams with my Tyvek tape, make sure everything is nice and tight. And then I'm gonna use the last of my, wait a second. The last of my flashing to cover the seals around the windows itself, and that's a whole entire process because I still got to get a drip edge for it, but nonetheless I can start doing the sides of the windows. I feel such a crazy pressure right now knowing that winter, well, the old Game of Thrones, winter's coming. So the good news is we passed the plumbing inspection. Awesome. After that, it's kind of also weird out here where we're building. In order for you to get your framing inspection, you first pass your shear inspection, which we did, then you pass your plumbing inspection, HVAC inspection, and then electrical inspection. Then you do the framing inspection. It's weird, but I just had my HVAC guy come out and he's like, your roof's not tarped, and I can't start doing the ductwork until the roof is tarped, and we are just found out that it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Of course it is. Of course it's gonna rain tomorrow. Why wouldn't it? All right, flashing is on. On top, there's this little flap that goes over. I put flashing underneath it, and then I gotta go buy the ridge cap. They sent me stainless steel or galvanized steel. I gotta go pick up black colored. We'll attach it underneath, tape it in tight, and then secure the wrap flap right over it so everything will kind of flow and not trap any water behind it. It'll kick it out as much as it can. I learned about this part from Better Home Builders magazine, I think that's what it was. And that had a really cool schematic to show you how to do that. So cool little trick, expensive windows, and we're protecting them pretty well. So I'm not sure about the triangular windows because there's no flat spot for that water to get trapped. And if I bring this flap over, exposing that corner there, then I'm afraid I'm introducing an opportunity for water for sliding in there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put flashing completely around it. And obviously it's not gonna need a kick out drip edge or anything like that. So, I mean, that's my thought process. I don't know. If you guys done this before, let me know. So it finally started raining, checking up the next day. It's drying off pretty well. Still no clarity on the supplies for the roofing, but a couple of things I did notice here is I left a little early when the guys were installing the big windows. I had to go pick up my kids. But I noticed, why is there this like gunk on the side, like a white caulking? And turns out, when you install big windows like that, another way of keeping moisture out and having a nice tight seal is putting a bead of caulk right around that trim, no, not the trim, putting a bead of caulk right around that tab that you're, securing it through, and you put it through and it creates just another sealing level. So that's a new thing that I learned, and you guys can put that into your toolbox. Now, on a little bit of a bummer note is the window sliding door installers, the guys that are charging $750 per door, so almost like $3 grand total to install. They kept pushing my schedule out about a week, so we're a week out. They finally show up yesterday and they're like, hey buddy, can't install them. Your door openings are way too wide. And I'm like, of course, they're way too wide. There has to be something goes wrong. The nice thing is the windows, especially the triangle stuff, were fine. And at least it's a better problem to have the opening be too big than too small, because if it's too big, that's a bigger problem. So I picked up some 2x6s and I'm gonna start slapping them on, wrapping them, and then fingers crossed tonight they make it out here. I probably won't be here, and then they could actually install these dang doors. Adapt and pivot. That is the moral of the story here. Perfect. 189, right on the dot. The window installer guy should not have any more issues installing this door. It's his problem now. Those are like 800-pound doors. My hands are clean. We got our last windows in and the plumbing is done. We still got the big sliding doors to do, which we're gonna handle it today, but in the meantime, let me go show you the tour of this plumbing inside. Let's start with the upstairs. I got us some stairs built just so it makes the rest of the trades a lot easier with the electrical and the drywall, especially hauling those sheets up here. We got a custom staircase that's gonna be fabricated, but in the meantime, this is a good temporary starting point. So upstairs, bedroom, we got a bathtub. We're imagining kids would probably be sleeping upstairs. Kids usually probably prefer bathtubs. We have our water supply, our toilet drainage, a vanity that looks like about, 36 inches. So that should be a decent amount. We're not banging our heads up the top here, which is great. These are all of our vent tube. And the interesting thing about venting is when we got our green tag to get signed off on the plumbing here by the inspector, what he was saying is we don't have it in code, but usually you want to put your vent tubes as high as you can, just because on a metal roof, the snow is going to start sliding off. And he says a lot of times it just rips that vent tube right off. He says we don't have a code for it, but I would put it there. So we put this one there. I wasn't a big fan of it just because stylistically you want to keep the whole A-frame beautiful and not with a bunch of pipes sticking out of it. But I think this is the back of the house that we should pull it off pretty well. So kitchen here, we were lucky enough to get this drain right in the middle. We'll kind of get a little swivel for the P-trap. We got our water lines coming up here. Vent tube is coming out here and then up. And to hide this thing from keeping it going into like multiple vent tubes coming out of the center of the roof, we got this one coming out of the knockoff here, the bump out section. We don't know how well that one's gonna hold up because you have the majority of the snow coming from the majority of the roof collecting on the second part that bumps out, and that could break it off. The inspector said that you could talk to the roofer, and sometimes they have some kind of little mechanisms that they could build around it to keep kind of almost like a little dam around it. So that'll be interesting to explore that idea, but I'm glad he caught that though. For the laundry room here, the architects designed a stackable washer dryer, which I'm not a fan of. And besides, by the time you stack it, it has to come off the wall. And we want to use as much wall space as we can. So we transitioned to just keeping it down below here. So we're going to have washer and dryer, a countertop over it, so you can actually fold laundry. My only concern here is going to make sure we have enough swinging space open. Because if you remember the abandoned house series that we did, we had that washer dryer in the hallway closet, and we had to use these French doors, which now that I'm thinking about it, that might be an option in case these doors don't open up all the way. Moving over, we have the furnace room here. Obviously, HVAC people haven't showed up here, but this is allocated for that. But this is the section that we decided to change and pivot plans on. The architects designed this to be just a linen closet or a coat closet, whatever it is. But what the architects did not include in the plan, and I don't know how they slipped this, is where the water heater goes. Maybe he was probably thinking we're going to have an instant water heater, and those are usually more compact. So we decided to X-nay on the whole coat closet, put the water heater in here, and then because of the furnace that we're using, it's going to need to be able to be drained out. So the plumbers also put another floor drain down below that will get tied into it. So as you can imagine, the floor is going to get tiled in this section. I'm also going to talk to our electrician to see if, since this is the water heater room and we don't want just a room for that alone, I want to see if we can figure out a plan where we can move the electrical panel in here. So our panel box would be here, the water heater would be here, and I think that'd be pretty convenient. Hopefully we could just get away with code for that. Moving over to the primary bedroom down here below, we have our bathroom here, which I had them put in a French door opening so you can go in here, or the guest bathroom that people would primarily use it. This is the biggest bathroom, the biggest room in the house. It's not very big on camera, but it's decent enough. So we have our shower here. I decided to X-nay on the whole bathtub just because I wanted this to be like a nice, beautiful shower. So we're gonna do a shower pan system with the whole Schluter thing. Everything's set up good. We have our toilet here. And then we're going to have a vanity that's actually 42 or 48 inches. So nice big vanity. Probably doesn't make sense to do a double one, but plenty of countertop space. Oh, there's one thing about the upstairs shower that I forgot to mention that I didn't consider. I don't want to sound like a broken record saying how you lose room with the whole A-frame style, but the shower is one thing I didn't consider. If you could see that how steep the rafters are coming, this is the only possible solution. So this is good enough for me here, but by the time you put in your little drain here, it's almost in this weird slanted box. Stylistically, it'll be interesting to see once everything is put together and the shower thing is on, because there's this feeling that I have, if our shower head doesn't pivot down far enough, it's gonna shoot it way out here, which nobody wants that. Forgot my keys to my trailer and I took my other car here, so I'm gonna try to bust this trailer lock open using just a little piece of metal that I found and this 2x4. We'll see how strong these locks are. They make it look so easy on TV all the time. No way. No way. I guess it's a lot easier than I thought. Hello, old girl. You miss me? Looks like we got that flash. Let's see what we can do with this door. This door opening is way too wide. Come on. Seems like a common occurrence here. Way too big. This is 38, and this is 30. Let me go look at the other door. Son of a gun. I need more 2x6s. Dang it. 5 2x6s. That is off by a lot. I don't know what they're thinking that day. Maybe we can turn this one of those fish and loaves parable. Miracle happen. We got 2, so that's good. We need another 3. Oh, I forget the OSB. Dang it. Okay, final measurements, 30 1/4, 30 1/8. So we got just a little bit to play with, but we'll see. Might actually be a really tight fit now. $30 1/4. 30 1/4. I feel good about this one now. So I'm gonna try to do this solo. The plan is gonna be to push it out till about here, that it's protruding on the outside. Fold these out, which is the way we're gonna secure them, and then secure them in place and making sure it's plumb and level and all that fun stuff. Well, let's try it. Oh, flashing. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna try to go to the other side and try to push it. I will say, specifically doors, that is my favorite feature. Most of the times with doors, you know, you're screwing through here, putting caps over them. This is such a slick mechanism. Huge fan, huge fan. No wonder they're so pricey. So we're gonna check for level, start securing in place, and then flash this son of a gun. Oh, that's beautiful. Combined, what are we looking glass-wise, weight-wise?
These?
All of like put together. What?
The whole thing?
Yeah.
800, all of them in.
800 pounds. Can you put it horizontally and carry it like a pool table?
For short periods of time, yes.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But like carrying it down the hill, we could have easily.
Fine. Oh yeah.
Glad we found that out later. When we were installing these, we were trying to put the ladder, because there's no room, right, wood-wise, and the framer's like, hey, can we put the ladder, lean it against it? He goes, I've done it before. I go, I don't want to take a risk with this.
Oh, no.
No, yeah, okay, I was right about that.
If you...
All right. Yeah, this is way better. Okay, I'm at a standstill. Door number 2, we only need to add 1 2x4. Got everything wrapped real quickly. We're looking at 30 3/4, and this is, that hurts. That hurts. Okay, let's install the door. So actually learned a valuable lesson installing these windows, talking to my window guy, is that the flashing, the mistake I made was putting flashing at the bottom of the window as well. And what he's saying is it's supposed to divert in case it ever gets back there, which it shouldn't. It needs to be able to kick out. So the seal is flashed, but you don't flash the top of that base plate. So it has to be kicked out. So that's a lesson I learned. I'm gonna have to go remove that stuff. But in case you guys are doing this, be mindful. We're diverting water. We're not just trying to prevent water, we're diverting. And the idea is if it's there and water does get there, it's trapped. So, but it shouldn't be there in the first place if we did our job right. All right, that feels nicer. Open sesame. Guys, the windows, the doors, they're all in and they look massive and they look incredibly cool. The guys did a phenomenal job balancing these things to make sure they slide perfectly. This is not something that I would try to even do myself just because there's so much room for variance on this fragile track that's down the middle, supporting 800 pounds on both sides. Now, what makes them so special? Well, I'll be completely honest. When we got them, the real deciding factor is being an A-frame, it needs to have that classic black windows. It sounds very silly just to spend so much money on a product that's just for the color. But that's kind of the situation that we're in. We just went for that vain approach of like, let's get the black trim to make it perfect. Now, the next thing behind it is the quality of the product that you're getting, which is very important. If we're building this A-frame, we want to make sure this thing retains as much value and equity as we could possibly do. So this has to be some premium features in here. What this Pella stuff is, nothing feels cheaper. If we went with more of that vinyl feel or a vinyl product, they would be all plasticky. And when they get heated up, when they get cold, you know, that stuff has a lot of variance. With this stuff, it's super cool. It's either fiberglass, powder coated aluminum, it's got wood trim to it. So the windows and doors are actually completely two different series from Pella. The sliding doors are the Imperial version series, and then the triangles and the rest of the windows are the Lifestyle version. And they have really cool quality. The inside is solid wood. It's painted perfectly flawless. It's beautiful. It's fiberglass on the parts that need to be fiberglass. And then the big thing is on the regular opening doors. Let me show you. I've never seen doors like this before. Every door, whether interior or exterior, has always been a cheap door that I installed. This is what makes this special. Let me unlock it real quick here. There it is. So these doors have like what they call, I think, dual locking. So this trail right here, this track, has actually a bolt that goes up and down into the ground. So you're not dealing with a bolt lock here, which you are. I mean, when you lock it, it's there as well. But the hinges pop up on top right over there. So when you close the door, it catches it there and it catches it at the bottom. Super sturdy. Second thing that I thought that was really neat is the doors. First of all, they come almost dead perfect. So you don't even have to check too much for plumbness and gaps and reveals. Like, it literally came out picture perfect. Not only did the installation of them was super easy, just put it through the sides, but he also recommended to put one long screw on the top because how heavy.
you want that door to keep from tilting over time. So it keeps it really nice and tight. But here's the coolest part that the door installer showed me. On the back side where all the hinges are, there's a torque screw with a plus and minus direction. So you can adjust this door to be balanced simply after you secure to your framing. You can come in with a torque screw and adjust it. And he says you can adjust it up to 1/4 of an inch, which is absolutely ridiculous. You can tilt it any way you want to make sure that door doesn't open and swing and stay open or keep closing all the time. Like, you could literally get a dead perfect finish on it. So that is what, from my loose understanding, what makes these doors and windows so special. It's not only the quality work, it's the premium finish on them, it's the capabilities and making your life easier. These are really tall, high performance, high efficiency doors and windows. And 40 grand with installation, yeah, that's really steep. But when we're talking about building this place, the ridiculous part is that I paid 35 grand just for the windows without installation, and I paid 35 grand for labor for 3.5 weeks to get this building framed up. So the big question is it worth it? Is it worth it getting these kind of expensive windows when it costs just as much to build, minus the cost of lumber, the building itself? Absolutely ridiculous to some. And I think if I was to build a regular size house in anywhere else that I personally live in, I don't know if I'd go with these. But if I was building a premium, either a multi-million-dollar home or a very killer, almost a piece of art, which this A-frame is, with a killer view, you almost don't want to skimp out on those little details like quality windows and doors. So these windows and doors, you can get them in the same dimensions and size and all that stuff, but let's say in a white trim, which is not the iconic look that we're going for, and you'll save 10 grand, so we're looking at $25,000 there. My goal with getting that most premium look, and this is where I'm not going to skimp out on the money, is on these windows and doors, is that my goal is with that to increase the equity of this building. So by spending $35,000, $40,000 on these windows and doors, I'm hoping to return about 50% to 40% of that equity. If anybody was to ever come and want to buy this place, they would look at all these premium finishes and actually want to spend that money because, well, let's be honest, if you can afford to buy a cabin in the woods as your second place for a vacation home, you probably have the money to pay for the premium finishes. And I'm not saying that's for me. My goal is to sell this place and make money off of it, but I'm looking for that client that can come in and go, yeah, it's got all the bells and whistles. We want that cabin feel, but we want it to be bougie. So in summary, 40 grand to pay to make an extra 30, 40 grand on top of it, I think it's pretty well invested money. I'd love to hear what you think about investing this kind of equity into your home with these kind of features. And put nice quality stuff in a nice location with a killer view in a unique building. And hopefully that results with having a sell price that's a lot higher. Thanks so much for watching this series, and make sure you tune in for next week's series where we start talking about this deck. There was a major screw up on it, and well, it's up to me to fix it. Until then, here's a video I think you might enjoy. See ya, bye.